All right, example 1. Multiply 3 and 1/5 times 2 and 1/3. The correct answer is not 6 and 1/15. Okay, let me just warn you right now. If you got 6 and 1/15, you did not do it correctly. The way you multiply mixed numbers is begin by taking each individual mixed number, make them into an improper fraction. So if I take 3 and 1/5, that's 15 plus 1 is 16 over 5. And if we take 2 and 1/3, that's 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. And for this lesson, we're going to be using x's for multiplication. A raised dot is fine also. As we get into more algebra, we're going to be using letters a lot to represent things, so we'll probably not use x to show multiplication much in this. The next thing I would do with the multiplication problem before I multiply is look to see if there's any reduction possibilities. We take a look at the top numbers, 16 and 7. We compare those to the bottom numbers, 5 and 3. And if any one of the yellow numbers and any one of the blue numbers have a common factor, you're allowed to reduce. 3 is a prime number, does not go into 7 or 16. 5 is also a prime number, does not go into 7 or 16. So no reductions possible here. So all we can do is just multiply without reducing. 16 times 7 is 112. 5 times 3 is 15. And that's the answer. I wouldn't change that. I would probably just stick with that answer. If you wanted to go back to a mixed number, you can, but why? Why would you want to? Improper fraction is perfectly fine. If you're stubborn and want to go back to a mixed number, 7 and 7/15 is the mixed number version of the right answer. But again, I personally would stop with the improper fraction. It's right, and there's no reason to change
Did you do
that.
that in your head?
Yeah.
Remember, we went over this in
I just knew that 7 times 15 is 105, and that left 7 left over, so yeah.
So would you want us to leave it like that all the time, or?
Improper fractions are perfectly fine, and they typically, a lot of times, they're the first place you get. So if you're at an improper fraction, that's the answer. Stop there, that's fine. If you're adding and subtracting mixed numbers, I'd probably prefer mixed numbers. Those can get pretty ridiculous. Multiplication, though, it's simple enough just to stay in improper fraction form. And again, if you've already gone through the trouble of seeing if it reduces here, then you know that that final answer doesn't reduce. I always reduce before I multiply, keeps the numbers smaller, it's easier to